it's very important to understand how to approach, those situations in life, those stressful situation, in a way that actually will serve us better.
Yeah.
Because believing that stress is bad for us is actually bad for us.
Yeah.
And it's a research. We didn't invent this one.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing because, again, if you are here listening to us because you're living abroad or you're planning to move abroad and you already start to feeling the symptoms of stress on you, that's the moment where you can say, wait a second, how can I approach those symptoms, those stressful situations in a way that is good for me? We're not now telling you just so it serves you better. It is good for you. It can be. If you look at it as something bad, that's how it's going to be. But if you perceive it as something that can be good, then it can be good for you.
Thank you, God, for joining me. Oh, you changed your glass.
Yeah, it's dirty.
All right.
Yes, you gotta tell me the truth. That's what we do here. We're super authentic and we got our coffee and we hope you got yours.
And welcome to our Coffee Talkie show.
Yes, and today we wanted to talk to you about a subject that, we've listened to a couple of things these past days and we've experienced it, and we guess you've experienced it too because you're a human being and that's part of life. And we wanted to talk to you about...
We hope you have your coffee because today we're talking about stress, but not just stress in general, but our way to perceive stress and how we approach stress. So that's our topic today, and we are going to dig into this one the long of this episode.
Yes.
But first, maybe let's begin with
having a sip of my coffee.
Yes. Do you feel stressed today?
No.
Wow.
I woke up this morning, my English this morning, and I've done my stretches and I've listened to a podcast and I took a couple of breath in the morning and I gave myself a high five in the mirror. Thank you, Mel Robbins, for that. And so I'm feeling good, which is good. Right?
Great.
It might happen later on today, right? But right now, at the specific moment, I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of time people ask me, how are you? Are you stressed? And I'm like, nah, not at all. But deep inside, I'm like, oh my God, of course I'm stressed. And sometimes, I used to be ashamed of being stressed or trying to hide it. And that's exactly what we want to talk to you today about. Because it's okay to feel stressed. I am stressed for many reasons. Okay? And stress, it doesn't always look the same. Stress can be like, I can't deal with this anymore. Stress can look like you're
crying all day. Stress can look like shouting. Stress can look like
not sleeping at night, not eating a lot. It's very, very personal. Sometimes you look at a person and you ask them, are you stressed? And they say, like, no, and they look totally normal. But deep inside, stress is present. And that's totally fine. I am stressed right now for many reasons, but that's totally fine. I know how to navigate it and how to approach it in a way that actually serves me. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're talking about today.
So really, during this episode, if you're listening to us on our podcast, thank you for listening. If you're watching us live, amazing to have you here with us. During this episode, we're going to give you a couple of tips on how you can approach stress in a way that actually serves you better. And so stay tuned, stay with us until the end of this episode, because we're going to cover 3 tips, we said.
Yes.
3 tips to give you a better way to approach stress so that you can actually use it. Because you see, we have a tendency to think that stress uses us. We cannot control it. It's there. We love stress. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But actually, we're here to tell you, let's learn to use stress in our own favor so it actually serves us, help us deal better, help us have a healthier life, and it's possible. Studies have showed it. We're going to talk about it deeper in a moment.
Yes, maybe we'll start by talking about how our modern society, in the Western world, how do we perceive stress, in general, like not every individual, but as a society. I think we love stress. We love being stressed. I even think some of us are addicted to stress. Everybody is around us is saying to you how stress is bad for our health and that it's not good for you, it's not good for your heart, it's not good for your hormones, it's not good for your weight. If you're stressed, then you gain weight. But everybody loves to be stressed. It's like a trendy thing, I am being stressed right now, I'm taking gummies for my stress. It's a trend. And there's a bit of a paradox here, like, we always try to fight this stress and not feeling stressed, but if you're not feeling stressed, like, you're not part of this party.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
and let's face it, like, if you're opening the news, if you are talking to your friends, if you're talking to your boss, if you're going to grocery shopping, there's, like, everything is out there to elevate your stress levels, right? Like, like yesterday, I walked back from my physical therapy into the metro in Paris. It was, 8 p.m. There was so many people, and people are walking fast, and you see people walking fast, so you walk faster, you feel more stressed, like, oh my God, I'm going to not catch the train. There's going to be another train in like 5 minutes, all good, but it's like you're part of the rhythm, right? It's part of the life that we're having.
We all love those stupid deadlines, and I call them stupid because it's unrealistic, the deadlines and the pressure we put on ourselves and on others, trying to please everyone, our bosses, our friends, our parents, our siblings sometimes as well. But we put ourselves extra pressure all the time, trying to be better, trying to be perfect, trying to fit in a place, trying to belong, trying to move, trying to improve, oh my God, it's exhausting. And there's no surprise why our body is reacting in extreme ways, to this kind of pressure.
Yeah.
And basically
that's what stress is. So in case you were wondering, okay, stress is so simple. It's basically our body's response to pressure. The more you pressure it, the higher stress you're gonna feel. That's that simple. Like, pressure equal stress. Put pressure on something, it stresses. And we're here talking about life abroad and moving abroad, and this is a big source of stress because you will face a lot of pressure. You will face pressure from your friends and family of like why you're doing it and how you're doing it. You will face pressure from your kids because you're taking them for somewhere else and they maybe not want to move, or they have high expectations to this move, so it's gonna pressure you. You're gonna have pressure about your career, you're gonna have pressure about learning the language, pressure about...
And pressure, one of the biggest source of pressure, I think, is the one we put on ourselves. Those nights that you're in your bed but can't sleep, like eyes wide open, and all you do is put more and more pressure on yourself. And the funniest thing, and it's also the saddest thing, I think, is we think that by putting more pressure on ourselves, they will actually, ease the pain and reduce the stress. And actually, like we said before, stress is simply our body's reaction to pressure. So when we're putting more pressure, well, yes,
it explodes. It doesn't
more stress.
So if we understand that stress is our body's response to pressure, and that we at least don't believe, maybe you believe, and if you do, please talk to us. Like, we'd love to hear from you. There is no such thing as a stress-free life, especially not in our modern society where stress is cool. As Mayan said before, like, it's cool, trendy. It's trendy, it's funky. Like, ooh, I'm taking gummies, and I'm like, I love
I'm all about the CBD, and I am. You know what?
Yeah, and the thing is, and And if right now you're under a lot of pressure and you're feeling a lot of stress, please don't get us wrong. We're not here to tell you what you're experiencing is invalid, or what you're experiencing is not good, or what you're experiencing is your fault, or anything like that. Not at all. We're just trying to say, hey, maybe, just maybe, there is another way to approach stress that will serve us. So keep on doing whatever you're doing and follow the way that works for you to deal with stress. We'll probably talk about it in another episode. But right now, just about how we think about it, how we act with regards to it, let's maybe just challenge it a bit to see if it can work better. Because as Mayan said, I'm taking gummies for stress and you're taking CBD.
And you know what? A couple of years ago, when I dealt with a huge amount of pressure causing a huge amount of stress, then I learned some techniques. For me personally, I use yoga and meditations and mindfulness daily because I want and need to manage my stress. It's not about ignoring it or making it disappear, okay? It's not about that. It's like, imagine waves in the sea, okay? So at the beginning, when you're feeling very, very stressed, and if this is how you feel right now, my heart goes to you because I know how hard it is, what you feel right now. But imagine it's like those big waves in the ocean, like big, huge, that you can't handle them. They're too big. They're bigger than you. And you're so tiny and small next to them that it's so scary as well. But when you learn, and this is what we're trying to do here, and this is what we do with our clients as well, you know, when you learn to distance yourself a little bit from the situation, from the stress, and learn to manage those waves, it's not that the sea is not there yet. It's not that you're running to the mountain as there's no waves. It's not about that. You're still there. There are still waves, but now they're smaller. Okay? You can see them, that you can handle them. It's there, but now it's like equal to you or smaller than you. And it's not that scary. You see it. Like I always say, when I'm facing stress, I'm like, hi stress. How are you? It's been a while. Thank you for being here. No, I'm not crazy. It's like my way of dealing with those waves because I'm not scared of it anymore. It's not bigger than me. I know how to look at it and how to handle it. And that's exactly what we want for you as well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways to navigate and manage stress. And Mayan mentioned yoga and mindfulness and meditation. You can
CBD
and gummies, and we can do physical activities, and there's that really
and therapy.
And there's a lot of things you can do to better handle stress. But what we hear about to talk to you, and I think that's a very different approach to it, is how to perceive it, how to think. What do we think about stress? And the reason why we wanted to share it with you today is that we listened to this amazing TED Talk just the other day about how the fact that we believe that stress is bad for us actually makes it bad for us.
Yeah.
Like, this is the reason why it's bad for us more than the actual real physiological effect that stress has on our body. The belief in it.
Yeah, so we'll put the link to this amazing TED Talk by Kelly McGonigal. We're going to put the link here.
Thanks, Kelly, for this amazing TED Talk. Really, we enjoyed it so very much. And we'll put the link to this 15 minutes TED Talk. We really, really recommend you listening to it as well, because we are enjoying talking about it right now. It's part of what we do and how we believe in life as well. But she's an health psychologist working in Stanford. And yeah, she's doing it in an amazing way. Very short, very very on point. Go and listen to her as well.
Yes, and what she said in this TED Talk, which is very interesting to me, is they were looking at we all know that stress is bad for our health. That's what society says, the doctors are saying that, research say that stress is bad for your health, which makes us believe that it's true. And actually, they did a research, and they showed in this research that what makes people die from stress is not the stress itself. It's not like the physical reaction to pressure, like we said before. It's actually the belief that stress is bad for our health. Then, oh my God, if I'm stressed, then it's bad for my health. Then it actually is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you get how big this is. And it's known for a while, and more people talk about how our thoughts are actually very, very powerful in order to, help us get what we want, but also arrive to a situation we really don't want.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is why we think it's very important to understand how to approach, those situations in life, their stressful situation, in a way that actually will serve us better.
Yeah.
Because believing that stress is bad for us is actually bad for us.
Yeah.
And it's a research. We didn't invent this one.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing because, again, if you are here listening to us because you're living abroad or you're planning to move abroad and you already start to feeling the symptoms of stress on you, that's the moment where you can say, wait a second, how can I approach those symptoms, those stressful situations in a way that is good for me? We're not now telling you just so it serves you better. It is good for you. It can be. If you look at it as something bad, that's how it's going to be. But if you perceive it as something that can be good, then it can be good for you.
Yeah, and I want to quote this amazing woman, Kelly McGonigal, and she said in this TED Talk, she said, how you think and how you act can transform your experience of stress. When you choose to view this as helpful, you create a biology of courage. And when you connect with others under stress, you create resilience. How amazing is this?
Yes.
Oh my God. Like, we all need courage and we all need resilience
to keep on doing. So that's amazing when we understand that this is how our body function. If we believe that it's helpful to us, if we believe that actually what's going on right now is beneficial to us and not bad, like what societies keep on telling us for the past I don't know how many years now. Okay? Because I don't know how much you know about like our brain works, but our brain doesn't know what's real and what we believe is real. It's the same exact thing. If we believe in something, that's what our brain believes in. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's what we believe in. That's how crazy and strong our beliefs are. And once we start believing that stress can be helpful to us, can be, as Kelly McGonigal said, can be our friend, can be the thing that we benefit from, well, this is how we will approach stress. We will approach stressful situation, and our body, because our brain will transmit the hormones that it needs to do that, our body will function better under stress and actually will develop courage and resilience. And that's amazing.
And that's those two things. I don't know. We talked a lot about resilience and courage while living abroad in other episodes. So feel free to go and hear those. Those are very, very important. When you move abroad and live abroad, you need those two. So actually, you need stress when you're moving abroad, and you need stress when you're living abroad. And it sounds ridiculous right now. Like, hey, you're moving abroad. Well, you need courage and stress. Like, it's a package deal. But yes. And yeah, we love saying those new approaches, to life, and to bring to you those research that actually prove that what we say here is not just blah.
It's real. And we're gonna, as we promised, we're gonna share with you 3 tips on like how to perceive stress in a way that serves you better. But just like, we'll do it in a minute, but just before, if you're currently planning of moving abroad in the next couple of months or in the upcoming year, we have a course that is exactly for you. It's called Move Abroad with Ease. You can find it on our website, smoothity.com, and we'll also put the link in the comments of this podcast. And this program is here for you to help you navigate the stress and manage it so that you actually don't let stress take control of your move abroad. Because we believe moving abroad can be the experience you dream of, the one you imagine, the beautiful thing that you have in your head, and not only the one you're scared of. And it's very easy to go into those endless checklists and sleepless nights and Googling everything obsessively and stressing yourself, putting more pressure on yourself when you're planning a move abroad. But this course will help you do it in a way that serves you better so you can actually have a joyful and smoother experience abroad. So go check it on smoothity.com. You'll find all the details there. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us.
Amazing. Yeah. And we created this course after we moved so many times, letting the stress take control of our move. And at some point we said enough. Enough is enough. Like, who's in control here? Is stress in control or am I? The right answer is you are in control.
Yes.
It's you. It's your life. You control it. It's not about the stress. So we need to learn how to control this stress, how to navigate it without ignoring it, without, running away from it. Like I said before, it's there. Better approach it in a way that serves you.
Yes.
So how do we approach stress in a way that actually can serve us better? We have 3 tips for you. The first one would be to look at a situation with a non-judgmental perspective.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of times what happens to us is we stress about something, like there's a pressure on us, our body reacts, creates stress. And then we look at the situation and start to judge ourselves, the situation, the people around it. And what we're here to say to you, this advice is, stop, pause, and try to look at the situation in a non-judgmental way. What do we mean is like when you're stressing about the amount of thing you need to pack, for example, and you're stressing it. So don't say to yourself, oh my God, I'm so lousy at packing. I'm incapable of doing this thing. I'm not strong enough to do that. I'm not organized. It's, how does it help you to say those things to yourself and to judge your behavior and to judge the way you feel? Well, actually, it's not helping you at all.
And I will add to that, it's important to understand that we don't have to be judgmental about our own feelings and our own sensations, the same way as you will not judge yourself for loving and smiling and feeling joyful and feeling. So the same way, we don't need to judge ourselves for feeling stress or feeling sad or feeling angry. It's true for all emotions. And the reason for that is that the emotion is there for a reason. The feeling that we have is there for a reason. So stress is there for a reason. So telling about yourself bad things because you're feeling stressed or you're under pressure is not helping you. So when you're putting a judgment on top of that, you're actually making it worse than it actually is. So the same way as like, if we'll take a positive sensation, like for example, love, Okay? If you will say to yourself every time you feel like a loving affection, caring for someone else, you will tell yourself, oh, I'm so stupid for feeling like that. Oh, I don't like feeling this. Oh, maybe I should ask the doctor, what can I do about feeling this way? Imagine how it will impact the way we approach people, right? Like if for every time you start to feel affection for someone, you'll be like, ooh, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight because of it, then you will never do it the right way, right? So the same way you will not approach love and caring and affection in a bad way, because you will look at it because society loves this in a good way. This is how we invite you to start thinking about stress in a non-judgmental way. It's fine, it's vital, we need it. It's our natural body's response to pressure. Don't add on top of it another layer of self-criticism, judgment, or bad talks.
Absolutely. This one is very, very important.
Yeah.
The next one.
The second one is look at the situation as it is. Not worse, not better. Okay? It's just what is in front of you. What usually happens is that we twist the story. Okay? We either make it better, as Mayan say in the beginning when someone asks you, are you stressed? And you're like, nope, I'm not. No, I have in my head, so it's not really stress, but I still have this episode from Friends where Ross is making margaritas and people asking, are you fine? I'm fine. No, if you're not, it's okay to say you're not, okay? But don't make it worse than it actually is. If right now you're feeling stressed, it's fine. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Probably not.
And you know, a lot of times when we feel stress, it has those connections in our brain, you know, I'm not going to go into neuroscience at all, but we have those connections in our head, and stress is related to some past events or even some traumas that we had, and those stories that we have about stress and what society says about stress. So you're facing a stressful situation and you're feeling stressed, and then what goes in your brain, and it goes really, really fast, that you're not always paying attention to it, and it goes like, ooh, this is stress. Ooh, then I should be really, really stressed. Then I should feel angry maybe. Oh, and I know that after I'm stressed, then I shout and I cry and I'm offended as well. And I have to run away. And this can bring like tragic events after. And wait a minute. What's the situation right now? Is it all those stories that you have in your head? Or is it just what it is in front of you right now? You know, we tend to go into the past a lot and go into the future, worry about the future, or, you know, feeling frustrated about the past. But actually, when you are in the present moment, what happened right now, you know, it's not better than it is, like you said. And it's not worse than it is. And, you know, we also have some prejudice, you know, and things that, ooh, when I'm feeling stressed, then I should be sweating and my heartbeat should be racing. And if it's not this way, then what's wrong with me? I'm not having stress like everybody else. Maybe I'm different. What does it mean about me? And you're spiraling down, and this is not good for your stress. It's not helping you deal with the stress, not helping you navigate the situation. Again, what we want to do is how we approach this stress that we're facing right now in a way that serves us. So making it worse, not serving us. Making it better, making us ignore the situation. I'm fine, you know. Not helping us. And actually, the best thing you could do is look at it as it is. Try to be as objective as you can, you know. And this is something, it's important for me to say. Sometimes it takes time to train yourself to do that. And you need to practice this, like, get a lot of stress to practice this. But the more you practice and the more you train yourself and your brain and your thoughts to handle stress in a way, you can start to distance yourself from the situation, from the stress, and observe it, like it's not yours for a minute, and then you can be non-judgmental and look at it as it is. Look at it as it is, because you're not emotionally involved in the situation at a very tiny moment. But again, it takes time, and it's okay if you're not succeeding in doing it at the first time. Totally fine, like everything in life, it takes practice. And I'm really inviting you to use your your stressful situation, to practice it, be aware of this practice and say, hey, this is a stressful moment. That's a great opportunity for me to practice what I learned and see how it goes, And I promise you, the more you practice it, the better you'll get at navigating stress.
So I have a tip for you about that. One of the things that helps me the most is asking myself, is it really true? So when I'm spiraling, better or worse actually, and I caught myself very quick about it, because as Maya said, it's a lot about practice. So I do it a lot, so I practice it a lot. I caught myself doing it, and I'm asking myself, is it really true? Is it true that, I'll give you an example of packing. I remember back in Israel, before our last move, I had this huge pile of stuff that I needed to pack. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this. It's impossible. And you're starting like that, and then you're starting to be stressed about it because you have a timeline, and we talked about deadlines, and you need to manage to do things. And I didn't thought I had enough suitcases, and I didn't thought I would be able to do all of that. And what am I going to do? And you find yourself cannot breathe, cannot sleep, cannot eat, cannot everything goes like that. And I remember judging myself, being like, you can't do this. You're incapable of this. You maybe need someone else. You will never be able to take all your stuff. You need to get rid of all your stuff. You need to. And then I caught myself. I'm like, is it really true? And the question, when you stop for a moment and you ask yourself, is everything you're thinking about right now is really true? I will not say that 100% of the time, but probably 98% of the time, the answer is no. The answer is that it's your past traumas, it's your fears, it's your beliefs, it's your surroundings that is planting things in your head. It's a lot of other things. Look at the situation as it is right now. You're packing your stuff. It's a lot to do. It's stressful. Okay. Will you be able to do it? Yes. Will it take you longer than you anticipated? Maybe. But it's that.
Does it mean you're incapable?
No.
No, not at all. And there are things you can't do. That's totally fine. But be honest with yourself what you can and what you can't. And that's another thing. And we talked a lot about being honest with yourself and get to know yourself. And the only way you could do it is just by observing yourself. So we have another episode about that as well. And when you're doing it, be honest. Be honest with yourself.
So we had our first tip was to be non-judgmental regarding your stress. And the second tip was to look at the situation and your stress as it is, not better and not worse. Third tip?
The third tip is be kind and compassionate to yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Because when you're feeling stressed and, it goes just right after being non-judgmental and looking at the situation as it is. If you're hard on yourself, beating yourself up after you've been stressed, then again, it's not serving you. And I know for myself, honesty moment here, for years, I beat myself up just for being stressed. Oh my God, why did I react in this way? Why was I so stressed? It's not good for anyone. Well, how is it helpful for me to approach stress? It's not. So, and this is again something that you need to practice, kindness and compassion. We talk a lot about being kind to others and to care for others, but not enough to ourselves. And actually, we can't be kind to others for real, like pure kindness, if we're not kind and compassionate with ourselves. And this one is very important, how you care for others. And like in this research that Kelly McGonigal did, and she told that taking care of others is actually,
it's building resiliency. Because when you care for others, when you're under stress or where you see them under stress, and there is this, like, I'm not going to get into the scientifics, as you said, go and watch the TED Talk, but there is a body reaction to this that creates hormones that generates our body's reaction to building muscles and tissues to really actually protect our hearts, protect our lungs, protect. So it's really amazing to see that that's how our body's reacting. And when we are super kind to others, when we are really, truly caring to ourselves and to others, when we say to ourselves is that when you are under stress, being able to surround yourself with people and be super honest, saying, listen, I'm currently super stressed. Not in a way of like, hey, I'm super stressed. Like, I just got my new gummies. Not in this way. In the way that like, hey, I'm super stressed. Can you help me with that? I'm stressed about X and Y. Do you have a way to do it indifferently that maybe will stress me less? Or just by talking it sometimes, actually when we hear out loud our own thoughts that usually are the cause of our stress, we then realize it's not that big. Remember we said like, don't look at it better or worse, just look at it as it is. When we say out loud what stresses out, we then realize, actually it's not that crazy. Like it's fine. When we bring people in this with us in a kindness and in a compassionate way, it really helps us look at stress as a positive thing. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, again, and don't be too hard on yourself because you reacted in a way to some pressure. Okay, so again, stress is simply your body's reaction to pressure. You don't have to beat yourself up for reacting. Yes, you can learn to control it better, maybe learn from it, maybe, but in a kind and loving way to yourself, And again, with time and practice, you can distance yourself a little bit from the situation and say, okay, what just happened here? Okay, give yourself a hug if you need it, And it's okay. I stressed and I cried maybe, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm okay.
Yeah.
And like I said to you before, yeah, I'm stressed, but I'm okay.
And one of the things to understand about stress is that actually it creates a lot of things in our body, and that's fine, okay? As we said in the beginning, each and every one of us will respond to stress differently. Some of us will feel physical pain, some of us will not eat, some of us will eat more, some of us will feel like we'll cry, we'll shout. Those are all our reactions. But they are here for a reason. They are here for a reason. Stress is only here to actually help us handle the situation that we're here. Okay, if we're breathing differently, it's because our body thinks that that's what we need in order to handle the situation. If our blood pressure is higher, it's because we need more the blood to go quicker in our body system so we can deal better with the situation. So actually, it's here to help us. And instead of looking at stress as the enemy of this world, modern world is like all the illnesses possible are caused by stress. Let's start loving stress for real, not for the trendy part of it, not for the society part of it, but for real about, hey, our body is amazing. It's like this crazy machine that should have been invented by now, but it's there, and it's working perfectly, and it's there to help us deal better with the current situation that we're having.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And I just want to, get a teeny tiny detail on this. This amazing machine that gives us, notifications about things that we should pay attention to by showing us stress. Like, okay, you're stressed right now, you need more oxygen, you need more blood pressure. That's totally fine. But when you use this too many times and like you run on high levels of stress all the time, then it affects the functioning of this amazing machine. And then those notifications, it's like, imagine a machine, going and working 24/7 all the time on very, very high speed. At some point, it's not working as efficiently as it should be. And then those notifications are not really efficient. And then the connection between you and your body and your mind and your brain, some cables are getting loose there, and it's not good. Okay, when you're putting too much pressure for so many hours a day or so many days in a week or all the time, that's what burnout is actually. It's when the system is not functioning as well as it should be, and those notifications of your body and reactions of your body are not really in real relation with what actually happens. Okay, sometimes we even unintentionally train our body to react bigger to a small situation because this is what we trained our body to do, and then the reaction are out of proportion, and the functioning of this amazing machine, our human body and brain, and it's not working as good as it should.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Well, all we said right now, it's working for, let's say normal pressure, like normal amount of stress. But if right now you're going through some really, really high levels of pressure, like anxiety, or even if it gets to depression, then again, don't be judgmental and look at it as it is. Be kind to yourself, but also get some help.
Yeah.
And that's very, very important because sometimes we can't see the things as they are by ourselves. And it's important to get help. I did get some help. You did get some help. There's no shame in that. Sometimes those waves are just too big to handle.
Even us all as kids, you're talking about waves. You will not go into sea if you don't know how to swim, right? You will not. Or if you do,
you probably
want to get out. Yeah. So, and we weren't born knowing how to swim. We learn. We ask for someone to teach us how to swim. Whether it was our parents, our siblings, a swim teacher, like someone taught you how to swim. So the same thing about managing and navigating stress. If you feel like your levels, as mine explained, the waves are high, then ask for someone to teach you how to navigate the waves, how to navigate the stress, and how to manage it in a way that serves you better, because you need to lower all the levels to a certain level that is, as we said, it's not a stress-free life, but it's a well-functioning stressed life. Okay, we need stress. It's good for us. If we approach it this way, it's amazing. but we need it not to consume us. That's really, really important.
Absolutely. And even if you're in this kind of situation where stress is all over the place and you can't handle it, even then, if you approach stress, in a more friendly way, and you look at it as, hey, I needed this sign to stop, to get help, to change things in my life, then there you go. You got something good out of this stress. Okay? And it's not about all we say here is not about negative and toxic positivity. It's not about, seeing always only the good. It's not about that. It's about approaching a stressful situation, a hard situation, a challenging situation in a way that actually can serve you back.
Yeah. Because that's what life is about. It's not about looking at everything in our belief. It's like it's not about having everything perfect all the time. Like if I answered at the beginning of the conversation that I'm not feeling stressed at the moment, it's not that I don't feel stressed. I felt stressed yesterday, I felt stressed a couple of days ago, I'm probably gonna feel stressed later on today, and that's fine. But I decide to look at it in a way that doesn't break me down, that doesn't spiral into something bigger than what it actually is. That I'm not judging myself for feeling stressed. That's okay. It's part of my life. And I manage it in the best way that I can for my own well-being. That's about it.
Yeah. So I think that's a wrap on this topic. And we hope it was really valuable to you. And again, if right now you're feeling stressed in some kind of, too big or can't handle or need help, please reach out. You can reach out to us or to a therapist or to a life coach or to your best friend or to your partner. It doesn't really matter. Just talk to somebody.
Yeah, don't keep it only to yourself. If it's in your head alone, it's usually bigger than, it feels bigger than it actually is. So say it to someone else.
Yes.
Start by that.
And if you're moving abroad or you decided to move abroad or if you're living abroad and you're feeling stressed, that's totally cool, You're part of this party. We are all feeling stressed at some point, at some level. That's totally fine. Just, remember, use it in a way that actually serves you.
Yes, so we hope you enjoyed this episode, whether it is on our podcast or here live. We enjoyed having this coffee with you. Subscribe and we'll see you in another episode.
Yes. Bye.